Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. In 1 Kings 21, we read an account of King Ahab, who wanted a plot of land next to his palace, and he wanted it for a garden. So he goes to the owner named Naboth, and he asks for the land, and he said, "I will give you a fair price." Naboth says, "I cannot sell you the land, it's my family's land, and I will be doing my family a disservice, and I will be dishonoring God by giving it to you." So King Ahab sulks and weeps, and he goes to his chambers, and he cries and he cries. And his wife, Queen Jezebel, comes in and says, "What's wrong, my king?" And Ahab says, "I wanted this plot of land for a garden, and Naboth won't sell it to me." So the queen says, "Leave it to me." And she goes out and she hires some witnesses to falsely testify against Naboth, saying that he had blasphemed the name of the Lord, which in Old Hebrew law is punishable by death. So they have the trial, the witnesses falsely accuse him, and Naboth is executed. And then Ahab swoops in and takes the garden for himself. And that, of course, brings on the judgment of God upon him and his house and his wife. Now, I bring this up because this is a biblical example of just how extreme greed can be. Greed and the pursuit and desire for more can come with severe consequences. Now, they aren't always as severe as someone's execution and death and God's judgment, but it still can carry some heavy weight. And I want you to think about, and I've mentioned these things a few times before, but they're important to repeat. I want you to think about the person who works and works and works and works, wants to get the bigger house, the bigger car, the more high-paying job, while the family sits back and says, "Why aren't you home? Spend time with us." And that person will say, "Well, just give me a little more time and everything will be okay. Just a little more, and then I can cut back, I can take it easy." Well, time gets longer and longer, and eventually the spouse leaves and the children resent that person for not being there. And you can lose an entire family in the pursuit of more. You can also, in the pursuit of more, you can lose everything you're trying to gain. Like most people want to try to gain money, and most people will get involved in Ponzi schemes or get rich quick schemes or gambling, and they will put all their money into it. And they will lose all of that money and more in the pursuit of trying to get more. You can find story upon story upon story of people who have actually won the lottery, and after a few years, they not only spent all that money, they are now a few million in debt because they overspent. They went crazy with what they were given. They couldn't handle the millions of dollars they had won, and they ended up losing. Greed in the pursuit of more can get you to lose your relationships. It can get you to lose everything you're trying to get. And even if you accumulate a lot of stuff, even if you're not after money per se, but you're after the latest whatever, or you're after all of the collection of, well, just as an example, Pokemon cards, which used to be a big thing, or Beanie Babies, which also used to be a big thing. People would spend thousands of dollars trying to get these things, only to have them sit in cases and in books and in collections to never really be bothered with, to never look at again. It's kind of like the kid who really, really, really wants that one toy for Christmas. They get it, they play with it, and within a few weeks, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, they don't touch it ever again. It's just another thing on the pile. See, wanting more will always leave you wanting more. It's a vicious cycle. There's never enough. It's never enough. Stuff is not enough. Money is not enough. Even in relationship, you can get all of these friends, but you still feel empty because none of these things fulfill life. The things that fulfill life are the things that you are grateful for, the things that you are content about. That is what brings fulfillment. And God Himself will provide all of those things if you just trust Him to do so. If you keep trying to fill a void that can never be filled, you will continually be empty. And that is the heavy price of wanting more. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.